Welcome back to Green Hand Garage. As you can tell, the truck is together. Now you have to watch the whole video to see everything. We've already ran it, we've already done everything. Now this video might look a little familiar at the beginning, but if you go to this timestamp, that's where all the new stuff is. We decided to just make it all into one video and just see how that goes. The truck's running, the truck's good. We had a lot of highs and lows in this video because I didn't know if I was actually gonna be able to finish the truck without help. Ended up, it was all right. It ended up fine. I just didn't know that in the moment. Yeah, just go to this timestamp and it'll all be brand new. Thank y'all. All right, let's get this thing popped open. So it leaks in the front. Cool, great. Well, all that oil goes back to cylinder 4 and I have a miserable misfire. Like, it's terrible. You would think it could run on 7 cylinders. Not this truck. This truck, purified baby, does not want to do anything like that. So now I got another day off where I actually have time to work on it. Now it's time to put those valve cover gaskets on my truck. Here's what we're working with. Most important thing is water. We don't have to talk about the half gallon of tea I drank before I came out here, but got the valve cover gaskets, little baby torque wrench, and all the tools you'll ever need. Cool story on the torque wrench. I actually picked it up at a yard sale last week. Got it for $4, better than 20 bucks from Harbor Freight, because these little grommets in here, they have to be torqued down to like 89 inch-pounds. So you gotta have a little baby one to do that. Alrighty, so this is relatively annoying of a job. So I've got to get all of this out of the way and then stick these things all the way back there. I've got to take all the intake out, all that fun stuff. The guy I watched took this off. I don't even know what that is. I'm going to try to leave that there. Will I be able to? Probably not. But all of the harness is like right next to the fuel rail, and it's actually clipped to the bolts that the valve cover is using. So that's going to be fun. I got a few hours, so we'll figure it out. I got time. So. Okay, I do not know who worked on this last, but they tightened this down way too much. With one hand, I don't even have a good angle to get it. There we go. To get the intake and all that stuff off, gotta take this off and unhook it from the throttle body. Yeah, I don't know who would ever tighten that too much. Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna put it down that tight though. Let's do an air filter check. Oh, she's still pretty clean. That's still good enough to go back in there. Forget about that one. So I've already dropped a bolt on top of the intake, but I've got all that off. Now it's time to work on all this crap so I can actually get down to the valve cover. Okay, but first I gotta get a bolt that a dummy dropped. Good luck giving you. So I got to my first hiccup. This little bracket's held on by 2 tins on the bottom. Well, the only thing that I can get to them is this, and then I can't get enough, you know, oomph on it, break them loose. All right, so while I eat that lovely popsicle, I lower the tire pressures in the front so that I don't have to climb up there the whole time. Now I should be able to get a better hand on that. So let's see. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, this one's gonna have to use some cuss words, so I'm gonna turn the camera off for this one. Alrighty, it may have taken me a very long time, but I can finally get this power steering pump thing out of the way. Reservoir holder. Jeez, those things suck. Anyways, I still haven't found that bolt I lost, but we'll see how this goes. I'm very sad because I'm running out of shade. When I moved my truck, the shade was like all the way out here, and yeah, I'm running out. Thank you, son. And I can't exactly move it anymore, so I'm gonna be working in the sun, which is what I didn't want to do originally, but it is what it is. So now I'm gonna work on trying to get all the harness stuff moved, and then whenever that's all moved, I'm gonna start getting everything out of the way on this side. I want to get it to where if I have to stop working on it, you know, the valve covers aren't just open. So I want to try to do everything at the same time, at the even pace, both sides at an even pace, just so that if I do have to go somewhere or something happens, we're good. So still haven't found that bolt I lost. I hope it's not in a place that it's very important, because it might not be going back on. I may try to magnet fish it, but if I don't find it, it's not going back on. It's not that important. So we got like 2 more bolts left. This is the valve cover right now. It's a wiggling. I'm not gonna wiggle it too much because I don't want it to bend, or I think it's plastic. Either way, don't want to mess it up. But tired of this grand pop. I started it, so I'm at least do this one. I might get to the other one tomorrow, but 45 minutes later, I was struggling to get the last bolt out of the back. So I took the trim off, like the fender trim, dropped the wheel well cover, whatever you want to call it, and it should be free now. So let's see how this goes. I'm gonna grab this. Oh yeah, we're free. Alrighty, I got y'all propped up. Let's see how this goes. Okay, some reason my phone's not videoing longer than 30 seconds, but I got it off. The old gasket is still there. See that blue? So time to get that off, make sure no dirt or anything got in, and then put everything back together. Alrighty, so this is where we left off yesterday. A total mess till I totally know what I'm doing. Well, didn't talk about it much yesterday, but I got the edges cleaned up a little bit. But they had tractors out here this morning, and it's supposed to rain tonight or today. I at least want to get this valve cover back on. It doesn't need to be like tightened to spec or anything like that. I just want to get it on to make sure nothing gets in. I can't exactly drive it to the garage to work on it because it's in pieces. But what I did do yesterday, I got the old the new valve cover on. Fought this a good bit. I can get to the bottom. You see the paper towels to where I can get in that way. It's just all this harness and crap just makes it very difficult to get in there and get it out. But I did notice these little tabs right here where there's a seam. There was silicone, gasket maker, whatever you want to call it. Well, I didn't have any, so I was like, I really got to a stopping point yesterday mentally and physically because I just don't know what I'm doing. I'm figuring it out as I go. I didn't even research it enough to know I needed silicone, but I have it now. We should be good to go. I was messing around with the torque wrench, and of course I did it to the one that has a ground in it. I broke that off. I don't exactly know how this torque wrench works yet, but I will figure that out before I get to torquing down on these studs and bolts, because the last thing I want to do is break a stud or bolt off into the head, because then that turns into a huge project, and I don't really want to pull the motor. Let's see if we can get this wire unhooked, get some stuff moved out of the way. I got it! Yay! Yes! Oh, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful sight. What's that cringy song? Don't touch my train. Don't judge me. You probably actually like that music. Okay, now that we got the alternator figured out, the alternator wire, I waited a week for this thing and figured it out in like 2 seconds. Mwah. So now that we got that figured out, we're setting up pretty well to get in a good place before dinner. We got like an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes for dinner. It'd be nice if we can get this unhooked. You can't really see that, but I remember checking that out. It's not really in a good place. So let me see if I can angle this. Ow! I poked myself. Ow! I'm okay. No blood. Here's what I'm working on now. This little clip, you can just see there was something right here. I broke it off. So now I'm trying to get this in here and wedge these two pieces apart because they're not really wanting to come apart. I don't think I'm gonna get this unplugged all the way just because I don't want to lay on the ground and get all dirty. But there's two more clips that's connected on, so I'm hoping I can still have enough room to get the valve cover underneath it, around it. Hopefully unconnecting those wires created a little bit of slack. So the next order of business is to try to get PCV thing. I think that's what that is. I don't know, a little donut. Get some of that disconnected. Okay, I don't have a wrench big enough to get this, so I had to use this. It's still a wrench, but still. There we are. Maybe. Can you tell I know what I'm doing? I think to get to that really well, I need to take this off. I don't know what you are. Hopefully you don't have liquid in you. Get that line. Brake booster. At least it hit the ground. So let's see if I can get this undone. Alrighty, some liquid courage. Yeah. I put some of that liquid courage on it. Maybe, just maybe, it'll break free when I come back out here after dinner. I kind of doubt it at this point, but I'm running out of options. I just don't know what to do. Might just keep that valve cover gasket on that side, because that side doesn't have a problem. If it does, it's not enough to make it an issue. All right, so we're back after dinner. Turns out father-in-law had the right wrench, and also he broke it loose. He came in here while I was eating, and he was able to get it broken loose. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's great. This thing, my hands are not used to this yet. Well, at the cost of me and the part, it's free, but I'm pretty sure that means I broke it off at the bottom. Yeah, I'm not sure. Pretty sure this means it's broke. Okay, so after further investigation and research, this is an EGR or something another. Well, did the whole Ejecto Tremo cuz, and I got a good bite on this, on the bung that goes into the exhaust manifold, but it's pretty rusted, so like it's crusty. I'm gonna spray it with some of that lube I sprayed on the top one, let it sit probably overnight, and I'm gonna come back tomorrow and try to fix my wrongs. So luckily I finally know what it is. Gonna look up, do some parts research, try to get that out of the exhaust. Hopefully that comes out, because I don't want to put headers on it. Also, the wife said I couldn't. I'm still so happy to be doing this, making videos. I know it's nothing crazy yet, but I'm trying, and I'm enjoying it. So, all right, I'm gonna see if I can get two hands on it now. Oh, yes, finally. I think that's the whole bung. Oof. Oh, gosh. Alrighty, so it's not worst case scenario. This goes into the exhaust manifold, and this nut is off of that tube. This nut was supposed to break loose from that. Okay, so just for reference, that's supposed to go in there. And this nut, so basically everything right there, just that nut, is supposed to be on there like this one. Well, I took the whole bung out, so hopefully this isn't too rusted. However, I could probably just buy another one of these. I'm not too sure, and all I know is we can't have rusty nuts. We can't put rusty nuts on the dash, so let's see what happens. I think I have an idea of what we can do though. So before I go in, I'm gonna try this. Okay, here's what we're gonna do with it. Of course, now I'm doing the walk of shame and I can't find it. It's the same color as the dirt. I found the crater that it left. I know it bounced this way. Let's see if we can find it. Got another day off. I'm gonna get on this valve cover. I think the other one's ready to be put back on, but I'm gonna get this off since there's no longer an EGR tube over it. Oops. Oh, last one. Woo. Alrighty, moment of truth. Oh yeah. Okay, on the bottom. Oh yay. I'm so happy about that. Oh, no, no. I got it though. How's everything looking? Looks like it's supposed to. Now, I'm gonna rearrange some of this. Okay, so, I'm gonna start from the back. This right here looks far enough. Booyah. Okay, where's the timing cover? And the block meat. May just knocked my hat almost out of my head, but I have another necklace. So the next plan of action is to get a razor blade and clean off the head, and then you gotta brake clean and get those old grommets out, put the new grommets in, and yeah, I spent a lot of time cleaning it. Those things are just filthy, filthy, filthy. I'm also smelling the oil. Definitely needs an oil change. I'll go through and do the miles. I think that'll be next video. Count all the miles and see when I should have got it done. But next order of business, get a razor blade, clean that, clean that, clean that, clean that, and then maybe I'll be ready to put them back on. We will see. Alrighty, so there's a mess back here. I've got the heads clean. I've got stuff as much out of the valve train area as I could. Now I'm going to start cleaning this driver's side valve cover. But I want you to take a look at these grommets. So here's what they're supposed to look like. Check this one out. Check this one out. Check this one out. That's oof. This one's bent out too. Look at that one. That one's really bad. And then I was looking on the top. This one is just absolutely shredded. I'm so glad I pulled this side too, because that was going to become a problem eventually. I talked to my dad when I was first doing it. I was talking about the torque spec and everything, and he was like, it was a lot. Those little grommets, they don't seem like they should take this much. Well, then I started doing some research on forums. They recommend doing things like 14 below what recommended torque spec is. Either way, I want to clean up this valve cover, put the valve cover gasket on. Then I'll have to put silicone somewhere. I don't know if it goes on the gasket material or the head, and fight these valve covers back in the truck. Alrighty, just ate dinner and I'm back out here. Got everything clean, ready to go. I just need to lower the tire on the passenger side, and then I'll start with the valve cover on the passenger side. Okay, so I've gotten everything out of the way the best I can. What I'm gonna do now is pop open the silicone. Yummy. Just a little dabble-do. Okay, that was probably way too much, but it'd be alright. Okay, I'm gonna try to get the valve cover in there now. See how this goes. I don't understand how I'm gonna get that in there. Alright, that's way better. Okay, I'm gonna do what I said I didn't want to do and crawl under and unplug some wires. So the truck has won yet again. I can't help but get a little discouraged, but at the same time, I'm also learning about all this stuff. You know, I kind of have to keep realistic expectations. And to be fair, I work a full-time job and I do this on my 2 off days I get a week, and maybe a couple hours on the days I work late. If I go in at work at 2, I'll be out here before lunch. And if I work in the morning, I'll be out here in the afternoon. Just gotta keep in mind, you know, I'm a normal person. With that being said, the mother-in-law is supposed to mow tomorrow, so I tried to put something other than just paper towels. I don't feel comfortable with that either, with just the plastic over it. To be fair, I'd like it to be done, but it is what it is. I can't just snap my fingers, and there's no one doing it for me, so it's all just me, you know, little old Josh. But you know, for me to get it closed up and, you know, going, I mean the hood being closed. This harness is why I can't get the valve cover on. It plugs in over here and it goes under. For reference, it's this one. So that's all I want to get done today. You've got to be pooping my pants. I just unplugged it first try. I've been trying to get this undone for a week. Now you just got to crawl under and just unplug all of it. We're gonna ignore all of those terribly leaking oil lines. But what I can't reach is this clip right here. See how that goes up above the AC? I think that's the AC pulley. It's all broken and fun looking. So I'm gonna scoot back a little bit more and see if I can figure out how to unplug that. Alrighty, a week's worth of procrastination leads me to this moment here. Look at that. That's just oofed. Don't look right. Let me put that up there. A week's worth of procrastination leads me to this. Oh, yeah, break it. Okay, so that gives me a little bit more room. Man, I hate working on this. Like, that's all in the way. I think I've gotten that out of the way the best I can. So I just have to worry about the main harness now. Call that good for today. Alright, so here's a little bit of an update. I've got it pretty good. It's probably gonna be as good as it's gonna get. This side's fine. I still want to get it turned just a little way, like that little black part right there. I won't be able to do anything with it there, so. I'm kind of to the point where I don't think I can do it. I have to call some friends or something, because I don't know what to do. I got the valve cover there, but if I were to get the gasket in as well, it's going to pinch and tear, and then also when I get it back there, it's going to fall off of the valve cover. So unless I silicone the gasket to the valve cover, it'll never work. At least with what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm just doing it wrong. I'm not. In the videos I watched, all that crap wasn't there. So I don't know. At this point, I just want to tear the motor out and put something else in it, because it's upsetting me. I want to take all the electronics out. Half of them don't work anyways. So at this point, I do not know. It would be easier to pull the motor at this point and then do the valve covers out of the truck, which is not an option at all. So. Looks like the silicone's set pretty well. I kind of figured for it to make the most sense is just start with the hardest one. So I'm going to start with this one, get all that out, clean out the inside, get the old silicone off. I put silicone on it already. Got to get it off because it's obviously set, because I thought I was going to get it done. But that's when I realized the gaskets kept falling out of the valve covers. So hopefully today I'll have it all put back together-ish, and then tomorrow I can button it back up and then maybe drive it to work. That's my goal right now. Alrighty, try number 1 of the silicone valve cover gaskets. Let's see how this goes. this busted, so I'm trying to not get that all over me like I did earlier. Okay, so before I set this down, I gotta put some silicone on this little seam right here. Okay, it's crooked, but you see this seam right here? I gotta put some silicone on it. That's where the timing cover and the head meet. I don't care if this is ugly. I just need it to work. It's way too much. There's also one on the bottom that I'm gonna get before I put it down. It's gonna be kind of tricky to get that one. Okay, let's get this thing seated too. So it's about to rain, and I also just got in the zone without picking up the camera. And last thing I need to worry about is the camera, because I gotta do this right. At the end of the day, this truck has to run. But yeah, she's showing you the clouds that are coming over the trees right now. She's been out here for maybe 10 minutes. That's how long I've been working on this valve cover. I didn't know it was about to rain until she said something, because I haven't been looking past those trees. But we're on the clock. We got like maybe 30 more minutes left. Clouds are getting real close. I'm about to torque all this down. Got everything closed up already because the clouds are now above us. Got both valve covers on, torque, all that good stuff. I'm gonna come out here tomorrow and button up a lot of, I really need to button up everything because I want to drive it to work tomorrow. Yeah, I just had to take 2 weeks from not doing anything to actually trust myself that I could actually do it. Look at that, it is scary over there. Either way, got it going so much better. Stuff's actually going together. I couldn't have asked for anything better. It is my anniversary though. Thank you, Emily, for the best 2 years of my life. Literally 1 minute later. Another day, another time to work on my truck. Got off work a few hours ago, took a nap, ate some dinner. Here we go. Since I got the valve covers on, torqued down, all that good stuff, it is time to start putting this thing back together. Got all those zip ties, get everything where it needs to go. It took a little work to get the spark plug wires in. What I'm going to do now, I think that's called evap. I don't know. There's a tube I pushed way back there when I was putting these in, and now I need that to hook that up to get to the next part. Now to get to that, this needs to go back. I'm trying to just do all the plug and play stuff right now. Be getting the hose down tonight. I could just hear stuff dropping and falling. Alright, the next thing I'm working on is going to be this ground wire that I broke. Next thing up is going to be this little bracket. Finally got this done. Emily will have to go back and check to see how long that took. I will say these ultra cheap ratchet wrenches came in very handy. Next thing we're going to do, get this EGR tube installed. The one I broke. See that shiny piece? Already got the bung in there pretty dang good. So next up, just to get that in there and we'll be good to go. Alrighty, got the EGR tube installed. I'm actually getting pretty close to start it. I gotta attach a bunch of vacuum hoses, put the power steering pump back. I'm waiting to do that because I gotta plug stuff up in there. I should connect this to the battery and that little light should turn on. So let's see. Spark. Voila. First start, here we go. Oh, we got oil pressure. Woo! We freaking did it! Woo! Alright, we're on the last step of getting this thing buttoned up and finished. I already got the fender trim and the wheel wells in, so now we just got to air the tires up, get everything out in the inside as far as trash and tools, and clean up the back of all the trash from paper towels and all that good stuff. Alright, you've seen that time lapse, right? That means we're ready to go. Got a couple more things to do, like change, get the AC blowing. We're going to take it on the first test drive. That'll be in next week's video. You'll have to come back to see that. So, thank y'all for tuning in and watching this. I really appreciate y'all spending y'all's time watching my time. And yeah, thank you for tuning in to Green Hanger.